How's it going, YouTube? This is Wi-Fi Man right here today, bringing you guys some more VGC 2021 action. If you be looking on your screen today, we have ourselves our January team. Yeah, it's a little early me posting January, but this might be like one of the best opportunities for me to try and climb up to #1 rank on the VGC 2021 ladder. So yeah, I wanted to kind of get some practice in, see if I can figure out some flaws of the team before I try to make that push. And I'm gonna be trying to record all that, so maybe I'll have some pretty great videos too out there for you guys here soon with this team. But if you look at our team, we got Choice Specs Polytoad. This thing hits like a truck. We got Choice Spam Rillaboom, another mon that hits really hard. Something to note on Rillaboom is that we have U-turn, so that can help us maybe pivot a little bit, get better board positioning. We do have U-turn as well on our Moltres. Moltres is a very interesting pick. A lot of rain teams, they still get a fire type, but most of the time they look for like a Heatran or something. Well, I like Moltres because it gives me multiple forms of speed control, something that I feel like our team lacks otherwise. We got Kingdra here. This Kingdra is a very bulky set, so we do get outsped if our opponent gets like a max tailwind off a lot of times. Max airstream, my bad. Alright, then we got Urshifu. This is pretty much your standard Urshifu. We got Wicked Blow, Close Combat, Circle Punch, and Detect. Ferrothorn was a Stella. Stella kind of had some problems. Kept getting doubled into. I had him as like a defensive Stella, but it doesn't seem like that might not be the right play. So we're gonna try Ferrothorn out. Hopefully Ferrothorn can put in some awesome work. So we'll figure everything out though. Don't worry. Question of the day is if there's any changes that you guys see, like a big weakness or something that we may have, let me know in the comments down below. Other than that though, let's try and get a few battles in. Ooh, I clicked casual by mistake. Let me get rank. Rank is where all the fun's at, guys. Casual is more or less test grounds, where rank is definitely more for the more serious, I guess. I don't know. With Stella, we were able to get down to like 1000s again, but then I think the higher ranked players, they were able to catch on what Stella wanted to do, and they really punished it. So that's why I changed him out for Ferrothorn. But anyway, looking at our opponent's team, he's got Rillaboom, Tapu Fini, Rotom Heat, Moltres, Landorus, and Dragapult. So what we can do, we can definitely go Kingdra. And I mean, we can keep Polytoad in the back. Let's go Kingdra, Moltres, because that way we threaten the Rillaboom that could be potentially as a lead. Landorus could be a lead, but I'm not too worried about that. Yeah, we'll definitely bring Polytoad. And now the question is, who should our last mon be? Urshifu gets beat up really hard by the Tapu Fini. Ferrothorn does decent against Tapu Fini, but same as Rillaboom, kind of gets beat up by that Rotom Heat, which we shouldn't have to worry too hard about that Rotom Heat. I think other than that though, Ferrothorn looks to be okay. We can get seeds up maybe with our Ferrothorn and we might be alright. Rillaboom's definitely a more offensive option, and I don't necessarily think we need to go full offense. Yes, they got a Tapu Fini, but I think we can play around that, especially with our other mons able to get some big rain boosted attacks off. We should be fine against a Tapu Fini. But yeah, let's just see what happens. You know, I mean, you guys could be commenting right now, You know, Tapu Fini, you definitely have to bring Rillaboom to one-shot it, or it's just gonna give you problems. You know, well, hindsight's 2020, really. I mean, until you until we play a little bit. All right, so right here, I could pick up either KO, Dragapult, or his Rillaboom. I mean, I really can. Really and truthfully, we need to see who is putting the most pressure on. And I would honestly think Dragapult is putting on a lot more pressure. So let's Dynamax, go for Max Wormwind into the Dragapult. And let's switch into Politoed. Most likely he's not going to be going for that big Glassy Glide into our Moltres slot here. Unless he is predicting a switch. But then, you know, we still get the rain. And then next turn we'll still be able to punish that Rillaboom. So we should be in a good spot. So let's see what happens. Alright, so Politoed comes out. Remember, this Politoed is a choice spec. So if we get an attack off, it's going to do a lot of damage. Alright, so yeah, we get Dynamax Kingdra. And Kingdra is super. It hits super hard. And, I mean, a lot of times, a lot of players ignore it for a little bit. You know, they're like, I got to focus on the other mons. So, yeah, but this team has a lot of good mons on it. So that's probably why our opponent really worries about all of our other good mons before they even try and attack Kingdra. But by then it's almost too late because Kingdra is just good. So he goes Glassy Glide into Kingdra though, so that's fine. Max Wormwind will come out. Does this pick up the KO since he Dynamax? Oh yeah, we do. Like I said, we threatened the KOs with that board position at the very beginning, and we made a really nice play by taking out his Dragapult. We can start getting some speed control up here by going for Max Airstream this next turn, which honestly I think you should. Rotom will come out. It's Rotom Heat. More than likely that means he's going to be Glassy Gliding our Politoed. Which one's a bigger threat though? You always need to keep asking yourself, which one's the bigger threat? I mean, it's obvious that this Rotom Heat is the bigger threat, so we need to take him out so we can switch. If he wants a Glassy Glide, we could go back into Moltres. We 4 times resist it, or go into Ferrothorn, which also 4 times resist it. But if we go into Ferrothorn, the match kind of gets awkward because Ferrothorn cannot do much to Rillaboom other than being a great wall. But I'm much rather go into Moltres in case he goes Overheat or something, predicting like a Ferrothorn switching or something. But yeah, as well, Moltres kind of takes the hits. That was a critical hit, and it did that little. So yeah, we were definitely in the right spot there. Rotom Heat should fall down to that. Yep. Max Geyser just take out the Rotom Heat. Rotom Heat definitely could be a problem with our team because of the Thunderbolt pressure, the fire pressure that he puts on too, you know. So definitely glad to go ahead and take him out. Landorus. Okay. Landorus could be an issue too, to tell you the honest truth. He definitely could be. I think for sure. Well, Landorus isn't as big of an issue because we do have Politoed. So I think right here we want to go for Max Airstream now into the Rillaboom and honestly switch Moltres out for Ferrothorn. Yeah, we're doing a lot of switches, but as well as you can see, we're playing very offensive as well. Trying to figure out what our opponents are wanting to do, we go after the bigger threat, and we just win from there, you know. And that's honestly, to me, I feel like that's like the right way to play Pokemon. You know, figure out who the bigger threat is to what you got, and then just go from there. You know, a lot of people, even myself though, can make this game very complicated. But then again, you could really make it simple by just doing plays like that. You know, people see these high ranked players and they're like, oh man, dude, I gotta play against this guy a certain way. I gotta overplay, you know? And then that's how you lose, you know? And then you're like, you're praising that guy for beating you. Well, you overplayed. You know, you didn't play. If it was someone that wasn't super high ranked, or someone that was just normal, didn't have the big name or something, you know, that person may not be you may actually play normal and you probably would have won. So that's what I'm trying to say. But yeah, let's see what our opponent's got. Yeah, I think definitely we go Kingdra. Kindra's a great lead option. Our opponent probably, he has good answers against Rillaboom. So I think Moltres is probably a good lead. Do we like Urshifu here? I do like Urshifu. What do we have for that Zapdos? Zapdos could be a big problem. We got Rillaboom. Or Ferrothorn. Neither one I love. Let's go Politoed. Politoed can go for like the Ice Beam or something onto it. We can wall it out with what we got though. If he decides to bring it. Hopefully he don't though, but I think we're still able to take it on. The Zapdos kinda issues a little bit of a threat, but most electric types against this rain team kinda do. Alright, so we get some Moltres action though, and hey, you know, I mean, Moltres in the rain, that's something totally different. I don't think you'll see a lot of YouTubers focus down on that, you know. We can honestly make a very, very bold play by going Max Geyser into the Zapdos, going into Politoed. It's getting the rain boost as well. But is that the right play? Do we actually knock out a Dynamax Zapdos? I don't think the Dynamax Zapdos can do much back to us other than maybe potentially knocking out our Politoed. But I think if he did knock out our Politoed, we can bring out like Urshifu or something to help finish off the match, or go back into Moltres or something. So I think this is still a good play. He could go for the Glassy Glide, but more than likely, as you've seen in the last battle, they may go into Kingdra. Kingdra takes it pretty decently. So yeah. So switching into Rillaboom with our Politoed, if we have Kingdra on the field, I don't worry so much, because I mean there's at least an 80% chance that they're not going to be Glassy Gliding into our Moltres. They don't gain nothing from it, you know. In turn 1, it's really hard to predict what your opponent wants to do, you know, because I mean we're putting pressure on with our Moltres against your Rillaboom. I could see a fake out maybe going into Moltres, into that Moltres slot, but I don't really see a Glassy Glide. So yeah, let's just see what happens. In fact, we prefer a fake out. He actually Glassy Glides right into our Politoed. Like I said, that was about 80% chance of that not happening. My opponent was predicting that play then. And that's on us for being pretty predictable, but we still do quite a bit of damage. What are you doing? Max Flare. So I mean that's doing no damage at all. So my opponent could have made a really bad turn. But in fact they were actually a little bit rewarded because we did switch play. So that's a really, really risky I mean, I can go into Moltres, fire off a nice little flamethrower for sure. I mean, that flamethrower can go straight into that Rillaboom. I'm not too worried about Zapdos now. Let's see who's faster, Kingdra or Moltres. So I may actually want to go for Geyser. What am I doing? 112, 111. Oh man, okay, so definitely a Tailwind play. Or even, I think we go Wormwind, Flamethrower. That's what I think we do. And that's putting on a lot of pressure on both sides for my opponent. Because he definitely don't want to stay in on a Moltres Flamethrower, because Moltres hits hard. He's actually going double, or he's actually Max Lightning into our Moltres. But our Moltres being Assault Vested, we take it pretty decently. And now we should be able to fire off a very powerful Flamethrower. Not necessarily expecting it to KO, but I am expecting this attack to KO. And it does. The Flamethrower, I mean, that's fantastic. Get the attack lowered onto that Rillaboom. He's out of glassy terrain as well, so that's awesome. And now we're getting big damage onto him. Potentially a KO. I don't think it will be, but Sun boosted, it's going to do a lot of damage. And that did do a lot of damage. Great. I mean, we're in a great spot. You know, that's what I'm saying. Other than the Sun, that Kingdra's not a huge fan of, but we should still be okay, because we can set up the rain this turn if we really wanted to, or we can just go for a Tailwind or max Airstream. Really just depends on what our opponent brings out. You know, we're putting on a lot of pressure. Our opponent's taking their sweet time trying to figure out what they want to bring out. Okay, so they got the Ice Cube. Okay. Definitely could be threatening with the definitely could be threatening, right? I think what you want to do though is Airstream the Rillaboom. And I think all you want to do is Flamethrower onto the Ice Cube. And we should be fine. Right? Ice Cube, his head protects him from physical attacks, not necessarily the special attacks that we'll be throwing out right now. So we should be fine. I don't see Rillaboom picking up a KO on either Mon, especially since we're taking them out, you know. Yeah, so Rillaboom goes down. He was at -1 anyway. He was not very threatening. The only big reason why I wanted to go ahead and go into him was so we get a nice little speed boost. Just get him off the field, because even chip damage could be an issue. I'm going Flamethrower now. How much are we looking at? Right down to the Focus Sash. Okay, I'll take that. Now what is he wanting to do to us? Head Smash right into our Moltres. That's honestly though, Moltres did work. You know, Moltres, we brought it mostly for the oh yeah, he faints too due to his own move. Wow. Yeah, but we brought it mostly to deal with the Rillaboom, and he pretty much was a fantastic wall to kind of help us deal with the Zapdos as well. So I think Moltres definitely did its part. Shedinja is the last one, and I was kind of figuring that might be Shedinja as the last one. But honestly, he can't do much. We can go Hurricane and Wicked Bow, and I mean, even if we, I mean, he can't have the Focus Sash, but yeah, so yeah, I mean, either way, our opponent ran. We played a really strong board position, and I think we kept our the board position. That was the big thing, you know, keeping the board position and staying on top of everything is exactly what we needed to do. And we were able to, first off, we were able to counter the Zapdos, which was the big threat, you know. And then we were able to go from there. The rest of the team was pretty simple to battle up against, you know. Thundurus, Lapras, Heatran, Landorus, Grimmsnarl, and Pheromosa. May have some Lapras Pheromosa plays that he might be wanting to try and do. I still think I like the Kingdra because it puts pressure onto the Heatran or the Landorus if either one of them want to lead. And in this game, though, I really like the Rillaboom because a lot of times they may actually want to lead a Lapras. Now, if they do lead the Thundurus, we need to try and get Thundurus off the field as fast as possible. I'm not necessarily worried about the Tailwind that he would be setting up, but worried about damage output that he'll put up next turns. Politoed's just nice, just to get our Kingdra going. And for our last slot, we could go Moltres, because I'm looking at this Pheromosa as the Pokemon that we ain't got really checked up yet. Moltres can definitely check it. Not necessarily in love with Moltres though in this matchup. Honestly, I think let's go Urshifu. Yeah, let's get Urshifu. Hopefully we locked in enough time. Urshifu kind of puts pressure on a lot of things. We still ain't putting on the biggest pressure against the Pheromosa, but Pheromosa is pretty frail, so we should be okay anyway. Moltres just did not, outside of battling that Pheromosa, it just did not look great, which, you know, I mean, we knew that, I almost knew that we were going to bring the Pheromosa though. Alright, so Politoed, oh, did it not lock me in? Am I not locked in time? I guess I didn't lock in time. I'm not hating on this lead though. I think we have a very good lead. I just need to know who we got. We got Moltres and Kingdra. Okay. Like I said, I'm not hating on that lead. But yeah, we definitely did not lock in. So it kind of gives us an awkward lead. Let's go into Moltres. Like I said though, I'm not in love with Moltres. You know, but against this matchup, I'm really needing to preserve our Rillaboom and our Kingdra for this game. So yeah. I'm okay with you faking out right there. That's better than you setting up a screen. Triple Axle ain't gonna be doing nothing, hopefully. Okay, we take it pretty decently. Muddy Water will now come out. Something dodged, both of them dodged it. Really? We really need that Muddy Water to hit just to get nice little chip damage. Yeah, let's get that Hurricane going. Yeah, we'll have to definitely try and claw this game back, because it looks like our opponent had like one of the best free turns ever. I mean, if Muddy Water just hit one of them, I would have been alright, but both of them kind of dodge it. That's pretty rough. Let's see, close combat going out into our Politoed. Politoed does take it. Politoed's pretty bulky. More than likely this Pheromosa does have Focus Sash, but Hurricane connects. Take it down to its Focus Sash. Let's see what Grimmsnarl wants to do. Probably, actually he's going for an attacking move. And we get the Muddy Water off, which, look how much damage that did to Grimmsnarl, guys. That's why I'm saying Specs Politoed could be one of the greatest Specs mons ever. Spirit Break comes out probably into Toad. That's fine. Now we get rid of your Pheromosa. That's why the big play was there. They do get rid of our Politoed, but that's okay because we can go straight into Kingdra. They could be going to Lapras, but that's fine, right? Okay, great. It's not Lapras. So we got Kingdra. Let's go into that big Max Geyser. Into that Thundurus slot. Like I said, Thundurus is definitely the big threat. I think all we want to do is go Hurricane into Grimmsnarl, and we should be fine there. Yep, so we get our Dynamax off first. He might be Dynamaxing himself. That Thunderous could be a really decent Dynamax option for our opponent. Don't necessarily know if that's what he wants to do though. Oh yeah, yeah, he is Dynamaxing. More than likely it's Thunderous. Grimmsnarl was taking way too much damage. With our Max Geyser though, we should still be doing over half. Definitely over half. We're Rain Boosted with Life, or we're a Kingdra, dude. And if he's going after our Kingdra, we're definitely gonna be taking the attack. He gives us the full incense. Okay, so that's what that does, is it actually slows us down. It gives us like a -1 or -2 in our speed, but it doesn't necessarily mean that we're the slowest thing. Max Airstream does come out. Sorry, something popped up on my screen, so I honestly don't know if we lived that or who he targeted. He targeted into Moltres. Okay, that's almost to be expected. That's fine. Really don't want to go into Rillaboom though, because that Thunderous now will probably definitely outspeed. We didn't do that much damage either, did we? Yeah, I don't know necessarily about this game. Thunderous is just putting on a lot of pressure. I think we didn't necessarily lead the way that we wanted to either, and then we try to put pressure on our opponent. Max Airstream will come out, probably KO us. Yeah, it would have been nice to have a Protect there, and instead of being Choice Banded, maybe have Miracle Seed or something. That would have been probably pretty nice. I don't know if we would live though. We probably would have. And then we could have Glassy Glided the Thunderous this turn, and then go after the Grimmsnarl with our Kingdra. That might have been a pretty decent option. There is the Lapras though, so this looks definitely like an uphill battle. I still think we play it out though. Not really worried about getting speed boost. The attack drop's not really gonna matter against a Lapras, but we'll go ahead and go for Max Wormwind. Get some go ahead, finish out that Thunderous if anything. Hopefully this Lapras won't destroy us. Hopefully Kingdra can really prove its worth, you know. Max Lightning will come out. We'll take it pretty decent. My biggest fear is this Lapras have a Freeze Strike, because if it does, it's pretty much GG. It has Thunder. It's not necessarily GG, but we do get that para. Do we get the KO? No, we do not. Man, we lost due to hacks. You really hate to see that, because we needed to get rid of that Thunderous this turn. Yeah, you really hate to see that though, because if we got rid of Thunderous, it still wasn't a 50. It was still gonna be like a 50-50, if not like a 30-70. You know, that my opponent was gonna win. Go ahead and Draco Meteor, I guess, the Thunderous. To me, yeah, Wild Charge probably pick up the KO. It does. Well, we knock out the Thunderous, but that's pretty much GG at this point. Great game to my opponent. Guys, if you guys do think you guys enjoy this team, I think it's a really good team. Definitely great potential. I need to maybe make small changes to this team, but I think overall this team can play with some of the best. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy this episode, go ahead and think about hitting that like button. If you are new, go ahead and subscribe. And yeah, hopefully you guys will enjoy the month of January, because I think I will. This team seems like it's going to play super well. And anyway, guys, this is Wi-Fi Merman signing out. Peace.